Hello. So, first I'd like to apologize for being so behind in a lot of the videos that I said I was going to make. So I still have my in-bulk video coming up and my God and Goddess for January coming up and so on and so forth, and I honestly can't remember if there was something else. I'm just so out of it. I think I had a few video responses. A lot of them I had recorded, but I recorded on my cell, and I don't know why I'm having trouble getting them to upload on YouTube from my cell phone. I think the cell phone is pretty much shot, is what it is. It's what it boils down to, I think. I've been having a lot of problems with it, but I'm going to have to redo the videos. It seems like if it's too long or a certain length, I can't get it to upload from my phone. And then sometimes if it does, it literally, I'll send it through my phone and it literally won't show up for like 2 or 3 days. So, yeah, there's that. And I figure I'll try to do a lot of those today because I'm home, I'm sick. So, I have the house to myself actually because the kids are at school and my boyfriend's at work. So I hope to get a few things done. I don't know if I will because I am drinking this wonderful tea. And what's it called? I just got it yesterday at GNC. It's an organic tea and it's called Nighty Night. And I took one last night and I don't know if it was a combination of being sick and the tea or what, but that sucker knocked me out. And it wasn't like a bam, like if you take cold medicine, nighttime cold medicine, or even like sleeping pills, because I have trouble sleeping a lot of times. I just can't fall asleep. I don't know. It almost feels like a natural sleep falls over you, you know. But this has in it passion flower, chamomile, linden flower, catnip, hop strobel, and then it has spearmint leaf, lemon verbena leaf, lemon peel, and West Indian lemongrass. Those four are lesser ingredients, or not as much of them. But it's really good. I think the highest concentration of ingredient is the passion flower and then chamomile. Those four other ingredients combine up to 675 milligrams of the ingredients. So it's really good. And I'm drinking it now. And I actually added a peppermint tea bag in with it, so we'll see what happens with that. But so let's see how much I'm gonna accomplish today. I also wanted to finish up. Well, yeah, I guess it is finished up. I already have all the stuff I want to put on my vision board, so I was going to finish making that today. Anyways, this video, now that I'm about 4 minutes in and so completely need to talk about what this video is about. This video is gonna be a book review of sorts. It's best I can manage right now. On the book, The Mysteries of Isis, Her Worship and Magic, and it's by DeTraci Regula. I guess that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure, but anyways, this is the book, and I got this from Amazon.com. In this book, I would suggest this book to anyone who is interested in Isis or Isis is their matron goddess, or interested in learning about Isis. As far as historical facts, I'm not a historian, so I don't know if the things in here are true or not. I do know that some of the things that are mentioned that I was aware of through, documentaries and other books and things like that seems to ring true. In this book, this author does cite other authors like, why can't I never remember his name? Budge. Is it W-E or... he's very famous. As far as Egyptology goes. E. Wallace Budge. Yes. She does cite some things from his work. One of them is Egyptian Magick, which I haven't read yet. She also cites a lot from Plutarch and some other authors and archaeologists. And this book has a lot of information pertaining to the worship of Isis. It discusses the spread of Isis worship over Egypt and beyond Egypt. So, moving into Greco-Roman areas, even parts of China during certain dynasties, and someone else. And I think parts of India at one point. Basically, it states a lot of this happened or traveled across the Silk Road, which was the road basically where, they carried silk for the most part, for all intents and purposes, across the countries, from China and to Greece and Rome and to Egypt. So, and vice versa. You learn a lot of the different rituals, incantations, evocations, things like that pertaining to Isis. You learn about priests and priestesses who were dedicated to Isis, from their garb to their roles to, things like that. Not just in ancient Egypt, but as well as in Greece and Rome, where she was later brought and then called Isis. I think her Egyptian name was Aset, in a few variations thereof. And you also get, it discusses different aspects of Isis. So there are things like Isis as a mother, Isis as, well, the section is called like the physician or something, basically healing magic and things like that. You do get rituals on how to do purifications, whether it's like yourself, so purification baths, and some of them are very, very simple as adding hops to your water. Well, I think you would boil it first, is what this one in here called for, to purifying your ritual items. It also discusses altar setup. If you want to make an altar or shrine dedicated to Isis, not that you have to follow it that way, but it does discuss basically how in ancient times it was very simplistic. It wasn't elaborate or anything like that. You don't need a lot of tools and so on and so forth. It also discusses things like symbols and colors and animals and plants that correspond to Isis. It also has a section on her various names. I don't think it's all, is it 10,000? I don't think it's all 10,000 names. It's just 10,000. I really want to say 10,000, so that's what I'm going to go with. Yeah. But you also, and you do get stories of Isis pertaining to other gods, like it does discuss, and it would have to discuss really, the story of Isis and Ra, and of course Osiris and Set, and it does cover things like divination, like Egyptian divination, and it goes through a lot about Isis. I'll just read to you some of the table of contents so that you get an idea, and I say some because it's rather long. The table of contents extends all the way from there to these 2 pages to this page. So yeah, so I'll just name a couple of things. So you start out with the chapter, the first hour of the day, and it goes through the hours of the days, daylight, which I guess I only assume because it's the entire worshiping day, what one would go through with Isis. But anyway, you have the awakening Isis, and in that section you have the morning rite to Isis and morning rite to Osiris. Then you have purifications for rites of Isis. So you have washing rites, the physical effects of spiritual cleansing, Natrun, baths for purification, anointing, cleansing with light, cleansing, ritual objects, stones, and crystals. And then you have Isis, the universal goddess, which covers Isis in Egypt. Visiting the holy house of Isis, going to the temple of Isis, inside an Egyptian temple, inside a Roman Greco temple, a few major temple sites of Isis, temples of Isis removed from Egypt, creating your own temple and dedicating a shrine or altar. And then you have one about Garb. Then you have exalting Isis. So you have praise songs and invocations, goddess of 10,000 names, personal names of priests, priestesses, and devotees, self-naming rite. And you have new time rite, Isis as a goddess of war, Isis as a sea goddess, festivals of Isis, Isis the great physician, Isis and other deities. And in that section you discuss Isis and Egyptian deities, Isis and Asian deities, Isis and Greco-Roman deities, Isis and Celtic Scandinavian deities, and Isis and Christian deities. Then there's the evening rites, in the kitchen and gardens of Isis, and in that chapter you have sacred foods of Isis and Osiris, lunar feast menu, miscellaneous recipes in the garden of Isis. Isis the dancing goddess, Isis as love goddess, Isis as divine midwife and mother, Isis in alchemy, rite of night, Isis and the stars, Isis and the worship of the hands, the oracles of Isis, Isis and dreaming, mysteries of Isis. And then you have, the appendix, which has Plutarch's account of the story of Isis and Osiris, Plutarch's account of the origins of Serapis, and Apuleius. I'm not 100% sure if I pronounced that right. Account of Chlorpheus. Again, I'm not certain if I pronounced that right. And then you have resources and things like that at the end. But yes, I think this is a very good book for anyone who wants to learn about Isis, as I've already stated. There's even a recipe in here for kiffy. I always wanted to make kiffy. When I saw Mirth and Reverence making it, I was like, oh wow, I would love to make it, but I'm still not at that point where I can make something as complicated as that. But they do have a recipe for kiffy in this book too, and other recipes for incense and oils. There's a lot of artwork in this book. You see a lot of, like a lot of artwork, and even pictures of statues and monuments. I can just find one. Here's some other like statues and patterns and things like that. It would have been nice if there were the colored pictures of some of these things, but I can totally understand when that's not possible. But sorry. But yes, so as I said, The Mysteries of Isis by DeTraci Regula. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's a very good book. Like I said, when it comes to a lot of the historical accuracies, that is not something that I can knowledgeably speak about, as I don't have a great working knowledge of ancient Egypt. I just know a few things here and there, and things that I've picked up watching documentaries on some of the pharaohs, or the queens like Nefertari or Hatshepsut or Cleopatra, things like that. So I would recommend this book. I think, especially if you have Isis as your patron goddess, there are definitely some things in here that I intend to adopt into my practice. I am trying to figure out a way to balance the goddess and the god in my life. So I'm also have a lot to learn about Ganesh, as he is my patron deity. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, and blessed be.